Hey guys, this is Eric from Satisfied Incorporated, and I'm in the middle of welding up some three-piece wheels, and while I'm doing that I just wanted to take a second and kind of explain what I'm doing, because I try to explain this to customers when they're buying wheels, and I feel like it's a little confusing. So I feel like if I could show you, you might understand a little bit better. So right now I'm welding up some 4x100 bottle cap wheels. And these are a good example of something that I would weld up. And basically what I mean by welding up is I would make the flange that I'm about to bolt to the lip and barrel, I'm going to make that thicker. So you can see this one pretty thick. This one's pretty good. So what I'm doing specifically here is I'm taking the bottle cap wheel and I'm machining it. And then if you don't put on an extra piece, this is kind of what you're getting. So this is how thick this is, or in this case we should say this is how thin this is. So each wheel that you machine when you're making a three-piece wheel will kind of have its own thickness. It'll have its own strength. And this is why it's important to buy from somebody who regularly makes a three-piece wheel like this. There are a lot of wheels, a lot of stock wheels you can cut apart, and you don't need to add these rings. You don't need to add extra material. They're strong enough just as is. But it really just depends on what wheel you're cutting apart. So on some wheels it is possible to cut them smart and have them strong enough. On other ones, there's just not a lot left when you're done cutting. So in my opinion, this is one example of something that you don't really want to run without the rings. I make these rings, and so this ring is basically going to go on this right here, and then I weld this on. So you can see how thick this is, and then this is what I'm making here, and then this is what it would look like if you didn't do it. So on these 4x100 bottle caps, I think it's important to add that extra material, and this is what I give my customers as an option. It does cost a little bit more because the material is expensive and you got to take the time to do it right. So if you want to take and you want to compare, say, a standard, like this is like a style 19, right? Style 19 face. And then your flange is going to be, I think that's 8 millimeters thick, if I remember right. But then you look what I'm offering here with this bottle cap, it's quite a bit thicker. So you get a lot of critics talking about these three-piece wheels, talking about how weak they can be. And that can be true if you don't do them right. So if you're going to buy a three-piece wheel, make sure you know how it's being made. And one of the most important parts is how thick this flange is. There are other important parts too, so that's kind of what I'm saying, is just make sure you get it from somebody that has some experience and knows what they're doing, because there's a lot of opportunities to make mistakes with these. But another example is I wanted to show you, like if you're buying, specifically these bottle caps, they're super popular to buy, right? Everybody wants them. The problem is nobody really wants to pay the price for the ones to be done right. So if you look at the way some are made, they're not, you can see I took and I cut the front and the back lip off, the lip and the barrel basically. I cut those off, and then I'm gonna add, something like this lip. So these are obviously not done, but we're looking at something like this, right? So this is what we're doing, three-piece. One thing that people are doing, you got to kind of watch out for, is if you look how the wheels are made, you can kind of see what they're doing. This is just a stock bottle cap. What a lot of people are starting to do is they're just starting to trim this edge off, and then they'll just take this and they'll just bolt this straight to that lip. So they're just bolting it right to here. Problem is, what I just told you, look how thick or thin. If you look at how thick this flange is going to be, and then this isn't even going to be this thick. because you're cutting a huge portion of that off. So you're looking at like that thick. I mean, it's tiny. And you know, the people who are offering that type of wheel, maybe they are welding a ring on the back of this. I'm not sure, because I've never seen, people don't really share pictures like that because they don't want you to see how they're making them. I want you to understand, for my customers, I can send them this video and I can say that this ring will make it significantly thicker. But also, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like I said, there are some stock wheels I don't think you need this ring. I haven't had any failure on some of them. So I will let you know the ones that I suggest putting this ring on, the ones that I don't, and then the ones that are kind of in the middle, you'll have to figure out for yourself. You know, having said all that, I think some of these people that buy these are straight show cars. They don't really drive them. So if you want to do a bottle cap that's thin like this, you want to save some money, hey, I'm all for it. You got to be accountable for what you're buying. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll tell you I suggest it. If you don't want it, I'll make you anything you want. So that's all I'm saying, is I just got to be honest with you, and I got to tell you. So hopefully this video would clear that up and you can understand what I'm talking about, what the ring is or where it goes, how it possibly makes it, you know, how much stronger, and how it compares to everything else. So if you're buying my wheels, or you're just checking out trying to buy other 3-piece wheels, now you know what you can look out for, and you can see how some people are making them and why they might be sketchy, or why some people are doing it right and they're making a really quality wheel. So don't just fall into like all 3-piece wheels are manufactured the same. They're not. There are definitely quality issues, and the thing that sucks is if you buy a set of wheels from somebody, you want to make sure they're quality, because you're going to be probably paying a lot of money for them. And you know, it's very, very possible, maybe even more common than not, if you buy a crappy set that breaks. Say you came to me and you're like, hey, this set broke, I need you to make me more faces that fit the lips and barrels. If they didn't make the wheel right, a lot of times those lips and barrels might not be usable, because it would put you in the same exact position. I don't know if that makes sense. You got to kind of be into making the wheel to understand that. But I guess my point is you just make sure you're buying a quality wheel, because you could buy a set of wheels, and if the lips and barrels are wrong and the faces are wrong, it's all garbage. A lot of times there's just not a way to fix them. So I think the saying is buy once, cry once. So keep that in mind. Hopefully this helps people understand 3-piece wheels a little bit better, how they're made, and why it's so important to have them made the right way the first time. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and hope this helps.